This episode reflects on emotional isolation, loneliness, and the quiet ways control can exist, even during seemingly peaceful seasons. Hi, and welcome back to After the Quiet. This is episode 35. Maternity leave was good. In many ways, it was one of the calmest periods in our home. The tension that had often lived between us seemed to ease. The baby slept well, the boys were now in school full-time, and for the first time in a long time, I had the time to be the housewife he had always wanted. The house was tidy, dinner was planned. I even started cooking from a cookbook, trying new recipes. From the outside, it probably looked like everything had finally settled, like we had figured things out. But peace and loneliness can exist at the same time. And that's what this season was for me. My days had a rhythm. The boys would leave for school in the morning. The baby and I would spend quiet time at home. Laundry, cleaning, meal planning. I was also busy planning important moments for my children. My oldest son's first communion and my daughter's baptism. These were milestones that mattered deeply to me, and I put my whole heart into planning them. One of the most peaceful parts of my week became Sunday mornings. I would take my baby girl to Mass, just the two of us. Those quiet mornings in church felt like something I desperately needed. In those moments, sitting there with my daughter in my arms, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Strength. I felt like God was telling me that I could keep going, that I had the strength to move forward. Sometimes, when life feels overwhelming, you look for reassurance anywhere you can find it. And for me, I found it in those quiet church pews. But even in that calmer season, I was lonely. Several of my friends had babies around the same time I did. Naturally, they would invite me to visit, to bring the baby over, to spend time together. But every time I mentioned going out during the day, I felt guilt. Not because of anything dramatic, but because he would remind me of all the things I could be doing at home. Tasks around the house, things that needed to get done. He didn't understand my need for connection. He didn't understand why seeing friends mattered to me. So, more often than not, I stayed home. Thankfully, I still saw my parents often. Once again, my mom became the support system I so desperately needed. She didn't judge. She didn't question. She just showed up. And sometimes that quiet support is what carries you through. My eldest son's first communion was beautiful. I handled all of the planning, the outfits, the invitations, the party, everything. It was a wonderful day. But there is one detail from that day that didn't seem important at the time. His parents missed our son's first communion. At the time, it didn't cause a major issue. Life moved on. But listeners, remember that detail. Because later in my story, when my parents miss a portion of my middle son's communion, the reaction will be very different. About a month later, we hosted my daughter's baptism. I chose my aunt to be her godmother. An incredible woman in my life. Kind, supportive, strong. The kind of person I hoped my daughter would always have around her. The baptism was beautiful. The house was full of people. Family, food, celebration. Everything looked perfect. But when I look back at the pictures from that day, something stands out. There are photos of him and the baby with his parents. There are photos of guests. Photos of people celebrating. But there are no family photos. Not one. Not a single picture of the 5 of us together. Not even a photo of the 2 of us holding our daughter. At the time, I didn't notice. Because I was busy. Making sure the party ran smoothly. Making sure everyone had what they needed. Making sure everything looked perfect. No one stopped me. No one said, "Let's take a photo of the family." And I didn't realize it then. But looking back now, it's obvious. I was an afterthought. From the outside, everything looked perfect. A happy family, 3 beautiful children, celebrations, church milestones, a tidy home. But inside, I was lonely. And slowly, quietly, the fractures in our perfect family were beginning to show, even if I couldn't fully see them yet. In the next episode, I'll share how life began shifting again, and the pressures of family and control returned. Because sometimes the calm seasons in life are just pauses between storms. This is After the Quiet. Please remember to subscribe to this podcast and share it with others who might need to hear my story. And also join me on Instagram at after.the.quiet. If you recognize parts of my story in your own, please reach out to someone who can give you support, or look for that support in your community. You are not weak for needing help. You are human. Your voice deserves to be heard.